Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Studio Goddess of the Month for September 2021. You'll recognize this goddess's name as soon as I say it, and with very good reason. Um, in fact, actually, I didn't even know that this goddess was who she is, or that this even was a goddess until my first card pull with her that she showed up. So her name is Nike. And I'm sure that that sounds familiar. Well, Nike is the Greek goddess of victory. She is she's actually on the Olympic medals that everybody receives in the Olympics. And she really stands for triumph above all odds. So Nike's message really came through in a powerful way. And the more that I'm working with these goddesses, the more that they're actually showing me these physical signs that they are here with me. And I am just loving it. And this same goes for you too. If you look for the signs and ask for the signs, they will be there. It's really the more that you tap in, the more that they show you how supported you are. So here's Nike's message. And again, it was just so good. So she took me to this round room with mirrors, and they were tall and gold. And she asked me to look at each aspect of my life in these mirrors and find what I loved, find what I didn't like, and where I had ambitions of greatness. And it was this true assessment of my life. And she said that we have to constantly check back in with ourselves. We have to wake up and realize that we create our reality. So, why would we create something that we didn't like, or that we, weren't going to strive for something that we wanted? She said that if there is something that you don't like in your life, fix it. It's as simple as that. Don't waste time deciding if you can do something, or when you should do something, or how it should get done. Just take inspired action. Just do it. Then she had me running with her, and all the mirrors were all around us. And she said, you can run through your life seeing it as a blur. And then suddenly we were running up a mountain. And as we started to reach the top, she said to me that, or you can have a destination for your life. You choose, and choose wisely, and be present. Reach for the stars. You'll find that they are never really out of your grasp. And gold, the color gold, was a really big theme in this meditation. So let's sit with that message for a moment. I really loved doing this assessment of my life, and it's something that I do often, but I love doing it in this way with the mirrors, right? I mean, like, we are constantly just going through life, and a lot of these goddesses have really brought this to our attention. Especially, the ones that we've been going through this year, and they keep bringing this up, that to be present in our lives, and to look at our lives, and to assess our lives. And I really truly think it's because that this is the key to living your best life. So let's go back for a moment. I told you I never heard of Nike, right? Never heard of her as a goddess anyway before. So I pulled that card and I connected with her, and had never had any experiences with her up to that moment. So no idea what she stood for, what her colors were, what she looked like, nothing. So in my notes, I said that gold was a really big theme when I met her, right? So even like when I think of her now, like if I close my eyes and like go back to that moment, all I see is things wrapped in gold. So as I began my research for you, so I can write up all these amazing things, I found that her color is gold. She wears a gold crown. She wears a gold dress. She's depicted with gold. She's also depicted with feathers. So after my meditation and writing up my notes, I had looked down on the floor in my office, and there was this large white feather, and I had no idea where it came from. And it, I was like, oh, maybe it came from one of my pillows, but the ones in the pillows are like this big. The one I found was like this. Okay. So it was big. Again, no idea where it came from. I asked my husband, he had no idea. The kids had no idea. But there it was, sitting on the floor after my meditation and after meeting her. And now I know why, right? It's because that is something that she's depicted with these feathers. Okay, so let's get to the message. So the message is this: our life is a mirror to what is going on within us. We can pretend not to see ourselves or the different parts of our life in the mirror, or we can stop and look. We can study and stare. And when was the last time you really looked in the mirror at yourself? I know that sometimes for me, I don't look at myself in the mirror for a while, like really, really look, not just like looking at how my hair looks or looking at like my teeth to see if something's in them. No, I mean, really looking into my own eyes. But when I do it, I find that there's a whole other world in there. It's where things are buried and where dreams are bursting at the seams. It's the things that others see in you and that maybe you have a hard time finding within yourself. But they're there and they're waiting to be uncovered. And in this search, you will find what is working for you in your life and what doesn't work for you. And it's really where you need to put your efforts and where you need to let go and where you are just so stinking happy, right? So in this search within yourself, in this search in the mirror, where you stop and stare, you can find the things that you're either glossing over or not paying attention to, but need attention. They need that intention. And now that you see it, right? Now that you're looking in the mirror and you see it, where can you find deep joy and gratitude for the things that you love in your life? And how can you begin to take steps towards changing the things in your life that you don't like, right? Change, it's not an overnight thing, right? You can make a decision overnight, but change itself takes some time. So how can you take those steps forward? And what is the next right move toward your dreams? So these are the things that you want to start asking yourself. I often look back at my life and really like before I began my business journey and ultimately my deep spiritual journey. And I really find myself asking, like, when was enough enough? Like, when did I open my eyes and realize, right? That there were things that were off that I didn't like, that there was more to this life than what I was living. So for me, there was a huge turning point and that I was so grateful for, but I spent years strapping other people's issues to my back. And I'm sure that you can feel the same. And this is other people's ideals, their values, opinions that never matched mine. And I lived a big part of my life being someone that I wasn't. And in my turning point, I finally looked in the mirror and I began to see. And it took years to see clearly, but I did. I did. It was intentional. It took me being very clear and not giving into the temptation for things to just be easy in life. It's really easy to turn a blind eye. It's really easy to sweep things under the rug. And it's really easy to go through life without actually ever experiencing life. But it takes work to live intentionally. And it takes work to experience life in the present moment. And it takes work to be connected to the universe and experience abundance and flow. But there is nothing in this life that is more worth it. Nothing. So what Nike asks us to do is to find the victory of the best life, to get off your ass and stop making excuses, to stop waiting for tomorrow and just do it. See what I did there? But there's a reason why the athletic brand chose Nike and this slogan, just do it, right? And I fully see it now. We look at these athletes and think, how do they do this, right? How are they equipped to do these things with their bodies? But honestly, we are meant to do the same things with our lives. If you speak to any athlete, they will tell you that their sport isn't just the physicality of it, right? It's mental, it's the soul, and of course the physical part. So it's mind, body, soul. And so is this life. So is living your best life, right? So let's think of this for a moment. We think about the mind. We need to have the mindset. We need to have the understanding of that these are the things that we need to do. We need to be intentional with our life, keeping our mind focused on the present, right? Okay. And then our body, we need to take care of ourselves, our body temple. Okay. We're given this one life in this body. Our body is our chance to be here. It's the soul's chance to be here. And we beat it up. We beat it up with junk. We don't take care of it. And this is me included. Okay. Like I'm in this boat too. Okay. Because it's very easy to let it go. It's very easy to not think about the things that we put into our body. So we have our mind that we need to be intentional about. We have our body that we need to be intentional about. And then, of course, we have our soul that we need to be intentional about, our connection to the universe. So the myth of Nike, it says that she flew over the battlefield of the Trojan War and she handed out rewards to the soldiers who showed bravery and skill. But don't you see that life rewards us in the same way? That when we are brave and we hone and use our skills, that we are rewarded by the universe. That when we bring to life what we are meant to in this life, that we are fully supported by the universe. With Nike leading the way, it seems. So call on Nike for speed and strength in finally fixing what you deem to be broken in your life. Not what others deem, what you deem to be broken. And call on her for strength and stamina when you feel winded by life because you're stronger than you think. And celebrate your victories with your gold crown and all when you achieve things both big and small. Let's do this beautiful thing called life the right way. Let's truly live it. All right. Crystals to support Nike's energy. One of them is bloodstone. So this was said to be used when soldiers went into battle to call on Nike. So bloodstone, it's like a green stone with all red dots in it. And pyrite, because it's gold and it reminds me of Nike. And also tiger's eye. It's also gold in color, but it's really about focused action. And I also want to throw some yellow fluorite into the mix because it's about staying on your path, but with personal power and conviction. So I feel Nike when I think of her in my solar plexus chakra for strength and power, but also in my heart and in my third eye chakra. So strengthen these areas along with your crown to really strengthen that mind, body, soul connection. So thank you so much for joining me in this amazing message from Nike, Goddess of Victory. You can use these crystals to meditate with or keep on you. And remember that you can always call on Nike for strength and victory. Okay. You know, and please know that whenever you call on her, she's there. So until next month, have a wonderful month. And don't forget to sign up for our Goddess Circle that is going to be in a couple of weeks. We are going to really dive deep into Nike and possibly even connect with her. So until then, bye.